At first, Rodo Market was calm, the kind of calm that fools people into thinking nothing bad could ever happen there. But that night, the air felt wrong, too quiet, too heavy, like the darkness was holding its breath. They said Saka controlled that part of the city, leader of the Thunder Boys, a man who walked like chaos wore his shoes, and tonight he was determined to erase the market from the map. Not for revenge, not for power, just money. A property developer had offered him a fat envelope to clear the place, and Saka never said no to a fat envelope. But he didn't expect Mama Bisi. Nobody ever expects Mama Bisi. She was 62, tiny, with silver hair and a stare sharp enough to cut a thief in half. When Saka threatened her earlier, telling her to sell her shop or lose everything, she didn't even blink. "Burn the building," she told him, "but you can't burn my destiny." He laughed at the time. He wasn't laughing now. Saka's crew was ready. Trigger, the fire-loving madman with a scar shaped like a question mark. Sister V, whose smile only appeared when someone was in pain. And Short Cat, the teenage informant who could squeeze into spaces a rat would struggle to enter. The plan was simple. 3:17 a.m. Fire, panic, destruction. Everyone gone. Market sold. But 3:14 a.m., Short Cat came racing back into the warehouse, his chest heaving and falling like he'd outrun death. "Saka," he gasped, "people are still in the market." That made Saka pause. No one ever stayed that late. Something was off. Cat continued, terrified, saying 3 strangers were moving through the stalls, placing black devices under tables. One tall woman with silver braids, a man with a limp, and another wearing a yellow raincoat. None of them spoke, none of them looked around. They moved like shadows with a mission. Saka froze. He knew them. Everyone knew them. The ghost sweepers, mysterious vigilantes rumored to bring down corrupt land grabs. They didn't appear for small crimes, only big ones. And if they were here tonight, it meant someone had tipped them off. Panic flickered in Saka's eyes, but his pride shoved it down. "Trigger," he growled, "light it now." Trigger didn't hesitate. A single spark became a flame became a monster, and in seconds, Rodo Market exploded into a burning sea of red and black. The fire screamed, the wood cracked, the sky turned orange. People woke, ran, shouted for help. And through all that chaos, one figure walked into the fire. Mama Bisi. Yes, walked in, not away, into the burning market, like she had been waiting for the flames to arrive. Her wrapper was tied high, her scarf soaked with water, her bare feet slapping the burning ground. Saka watched in disbelief as she marched straight into the heart of the blaze, bent under her table and pulled out one of the black devices. Then she shouted a word no one expected. "Time!" Saka had no idea what she meant, but the ghost sweepers did. Silverbraid stepped out from the fire, her face untouched by panic. Limp Man followed, tapping his cane once. Yellow Raincoat emerged last, holding a glowing tablet. Short Cat whispered, "They're everywhere." And he wasn't wrong. Suddenly, lights blinked on all around the market. Tiny red dots, cameras, hundreds of them, hidden, watching, recording. The tablets in the sweeper's hands lit up. On screen was Saka, Trigger, Sister V, Short Cat, their faces clear, their actions undeniable. The fire, the threats, the plan, every detail recorded in real time. Saka's stomach dropped. His mind raced. Someone had been planning this long before tonight. Mama Bisi looked at him through the flames, her eyes cold. "You wanted us gone. Now you will never leave." Police sirens cut through the roaring fire. Firefighters crashed in with hoses. Drones hummed overhead. Saka tried to run, but the sweepers cornered him with evidence. Trigger panicked. Sister V froze. Short Cat fell to his knees, crying. Then Trigger snapped. He grabbed a broken bottle, screaming, and charged straight at Mama Bisi. Silverbraids reached for her weapon, but Mama Bisi lifted one hand. "Let him come," she whispered. Trigger lunged, and the ground swallowed him. Literally, the old sewage tunnel beneath the market weakened by years of leaks in the heat of the fire, collapsed. Trigger disappeared with a scream that didn't sound human, vanishing into darkness. Sister V fainted. Kat screamed. Sokka stared, horrified, realizing he had lost everything: his crew, his freedom, his power. Mama Bisi stepped up to him as police locked cuffs on his wrists. Her voice was calm, steady, terrifying. Evil is a fire. You think you can control it, but it always burns the one who lights it. Sokka looked away. Justice had caught him, brutally. But just when it seemed the story was over, one of the Ghost Sweeper's tablets beeped. Silverbraids frowned. Sokka, who else knew about the developer's plan? Sokka didn't answer, because suddenly he understood he wasn't the mastermind. He was the pawn. The camera feeds flickered. Static twisted across the screen. Then a face appeared, not in the market, not near the fire, but in a cold, dark control room, watching them, smiling. A voice came through, calm and calculated. Phase 1 successful. Proceed to Phase 2. Mama Bisi stiffened. Silverbraids whispered, "Oh no, they wanted the market to survive." The screen went black, the fire hissed, and the real monster behind everything finally opened his eyes. The screen went black, but the fear it left behind was brighter than the fire itself, and for the first time that night, Mama Bisi looked shaken, not because of Sokka, not because of the flames, but because she recognized the voice behind Phase 2. The Ghost Sweepers exchanged a look, a silent realization that whatever they thought they were stopping was only half the story. Police dragged Sokka toward the vans, but he twisted, desperate, suddenly more afraid of the mastermind than from prison. "You don't understand," he yelled. "You think I'm the enemy, but he owns everything." Silverbraid stepped forward. "Who?" But Sokka only shook his head. "If I say it, I die faster." That was the moment a distant rumble vibrated the ground like something massive had begun moving beneath the market. Yellow Raincoat tapped furiously on his tablet. "The tunnels," he muttered. "The collapsed trigger fell through. It wasn't an accident." Limp Man's eyes widened. "They're rigged." Another rumble, stronger. Dust rose from the ground like breath. Mama Bisi whispered, "He's coming." Suddenly, every light in the market blinked out. Every generator, every police flashlight, every drone. Total darkness swallowed everyone. Screams, confusion, footsteps. Then a single spotlight snapped on from somewhere above, illuminating a new figure standing on the half-collapsed water tower overlooking the burning market. A tall man in a long black coat, face hidden behind a metal mask, voice smooth like poison silk. "Good evening, survivors." Even the fire seemed to lower its voice. Mama Bisi inhaled sharply. "Bako," a name people only spoke when they wanted to warn their children about evil that had education, money, and patience. Bako controlled land, contracts, political shadows. He wasn't a thug. He was the architect behind thugs. Bako spoke calmly. "Rodo Market sits on the land I need for my project. You were supposed to evacuate peacefully." He looked directly at Mama Bisi, "But you refused." Mama Bisi stepped forward. "This land feeds families. It buries memories. You can build your empire anywhere." Bako interrupted, "But I want this one." He snapped his fingers. A section of the ground caved in, revealing flashing metal panels, wires, explosives. The entire market was sitting on a demolition grid. Silverbraid swore under her breath. "It's Phase 2. He wants to wipe the whole place clean." Police tried to get people out, but as officers moved, the demolition grid began arming itself, beeping faster and faster. Bako raised his hand. "Nobody move. You step, you trigger it." Panic spread. Children cried. Traitors prayed. Officers froze. Mama Bisi stood perfectly still, but her eyes burned. "Bako," she said, "you think this land is yours, but you don't know who protects it." He laughed softly. "Your ghost sweepers? I built them." The sweepers stiffened like he had stabbed their lungs.
Bako continued. They were supposed to be my intelligent extractors, clean operations, silent acquisitions, but they grew a conscience, so tonight we end their chapter. Silverbraids whispered, "He's lying, right?" Yellow Raincoat didn't answer. Limp Man's cane trembled. Bako lifted a remote. "Goodbye." But Mama Bisi said, "Wait." Her voice echoed like thunder. "You forgot something important." Bako tilted his head. "And what is that?" Mama Bisi raised her hands. "Rodo Market doesn't belong to you, but the tunnels do." Before Bako could respond, the ground erupted beneath him, water blasting upward like a geyser. The old water tower hadn't fully collapsed earlier. It had simply cracked, and Mama Bisi knew exactly where the crack was. The burst snapped the tower's foundation. Bako stumbled. The remote flew from his hand, straight down into the flooded demolition grid below. Sparks exploded, lights glitched, beeping reversed, then
Warped, then fell silent, and the entire demolition system shut down. The crowd gasped. Bako roared, "No!" He leapt from the tower into the chaos below. Silverbraids grabbed Mama Bisi. "Move now!" Police escorted people out as the fire crews fought the flames. Limp Man pulled up schematics. "The grid is disarmed but unstable. We've got minutes before the ground collapses." Bako emerged from the smoke, mask cracked, fury unmasked. He went straight for Mama Bisi. She didn't move. She didn't run. She simply said, "You wanted this land? Then stand on it when it sinks." The ground under Bako split like the earth had opened its mouth just for him. He fell, grabbing a metal beam, dangling above the collapsed tunnels. Fire reflected in his mask. "Help me!" he screamed. Silverbraids hesitated, not because she wanted him to die, but because she knew saving him meant saving the man who planned to erase a whole community. Mama Bisi stepped closer. "You took homes, lives, children's futures, and even now, you think someone should save you?" Bako cried, "Please!" Mama Bisi looked at Silverbraids. "He is yours to judge." The sweepers looked at one another. Even they feared making the wrong choice. Then Limp Man pressed a button on his cane. A tension cable shot out, wrapping around a pole, forming a makeshift bridge to where Bako dangled. He could reach it if he let go of the beam and grabbed the cable. "Reach," Limp Man said. Bako tried, but the ground shifted again. The beam snapped. Bako fell straight into the swallowed tunnels below, disappearing into the darkness Trigger had vanished into earlier. Silence. Then, nothing. The ground sealed itself with mud and water. No explosion, no collapse, just an ending the land itself chose. Hours passed. Fire died. Dawn rose. Rodo Market stood charred but still standing. Police took Sokka away. Shortcat was placed in protective care. Sister V was hospitalized. The ghost sweepers stood beside Mama Bisi. Yellow Raincoat finally spoke. "You knew the tower would burst. How?" Mama Bisi smiled faintly. "I've sold peppers here for 40 years. I hear when water talks." Silverbraids laughed softly. "Market women, the real intelligence unit." Mama Bisi looked at the traders returning, sweeping ashes, checking what survived. "We rebuild, because what evil destroys, unity restores." A reporter later asked her how she stayed brave through everything. Mama Bisi replied, "Justice is like fire. If you don't fear it, it burns for you." Rodo Market was declared protected land. The developer was arrested. The ghost sweepers disappeared into legend again, and the tunnels under the market were sealed forever. Some say Bako died. Others swear they hear footsteps at night beneath the earth. But Mama Bisi always smiles when asked. If he's alive,
she says. Let the darkness keep him. He tried to own land. Now the land owns him.